Starts of Sell. Today on Starts of Sell, we have a center back edition. So, new City signing Gvardiol, Liverpool's main center back, Virgil van Dijk, and Real Madrid's newest center back signing. Obviously, he's been there a while now, but our newest signing is Antonio Rudiger. So, who wants to step up to the plate and start on Starts of Sell this week?
Tyler.
Yeah, I can do it. It's super simple. It's Gvardiol, VVD.
Oh,
and,
okay. So you want to talk about why you bench VVD?
I think it's more based on right now, right? Like obviously the career and the accolades VVD is very clear as overall. But if you're starting one tomorrow in your first game, like it's Gvardiol, no questions asked. I don't think if someone wants to disagree with me on that take now, let's go ahead and get that out of the way.
I mean, who else wants to step up to the plate if you have a contrasting opinion?
Is someone else gonna start VVD tomorrow?
No.
Negative.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Too much of injury, fam.
That boy's ligaments ain't holding up no more.
Oliver.
The more fun part of this is I think Rudiger is still absolute garbage, and he can't play defense with anybody.
Locks up Holland for
Absolutely garbage.
Go ahead,
Oliver.
Oliver.
Terrible.
You've been quiet. I want to hear from you.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say Rudiger starting.
That's
100%. There's no question about that.
really because he doesn't start for Madrid most of the time. I'm confused here.
I mean, we got so much talent. You gotta rotate the squad.
All right, keep going, keep
man,
going.
you know that. And then I'll bench Guardiola, whatever his name is, man. Because he's a beast.
I'm benching
He's a
Gvardiol.
beast, man. He's a beast. And then I'm a sell Van Dijk. You know, like Jeff said, his ligaments are torn. He's twerking in the back line, man. He ain't doing much. So he's gotta go.
Oh god. All right, I love it. Chile, let's hear what you gotta say.
This guy's stupid, bro. God. Oh, look. I'm starting Gvardiol. You guys know how much I love Croatia. I mean, I think he's super talented as a player.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He's too good.
I think it's good on him that he signed up for a team like City. Especially, you're gonna get a few seasons, or we don't even know how many seasons under Guardiola. So, I mean, I don't think you could ask for a better coach to play in the Prem or whatever. We'll move on from City. I'm benching Rudiger because he's already on the bench, and then I'll sell Van Dijk because it sounds like to me, out of all the Liverpool friends that I have, and all the podcasts that I've been listening to, is if Konate is not playing, Liverpool ain't playing. And to say that, that's a big, what's the word?
Red flag on Van Dijk?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if Liverpool, if your own fans are saying, hey, like we're gonna be in trouble if Konate is not playing today, like come on, that's kind of crazy, you know? That's just the expectations that they have on Konate over DVD. So that's my order.
Okay. Jeff?
I'm gonna do a repeat. I mean, Virgil van Biscuits and ligaments they ain't holding up, y'all. It's a wrap. I don't know. I think it's a wrap for Mr. Biscuits. So I'm gonna sell Mr. Virgil, and I'm gonna go off vibes, yo. I'm gonna pick that Croatian GV guy as my starter.
Pure vibes.
I don't know much about it, I'll be honest, but
no stats, pure vibes, bro.
It's all vibes, though.
No, Jeff only knows him because he's the guy at the mask that has a World Cup card in FIFA.
Yeah, and Rudiger, I mean, Chella tells me he's good, but I didn't get to see the man play, and I don't get the opportunity to watch Madrid games and all. But I'll take your word. I'll put him on the.
All right. Johnny.
I got
I
Gvardiol on the.
pray I pray to God, sorry Johnny, that
You're good.
Ancelotti uses him way more this season, bro. Honestly, I think all of us finish, bro. I'm sorry. I think Favre's always says it the same thing. He needs to be playing out in the left back. I know he's slower now, but I think Rudiger would give more than Alava at center back. My
Yeah,
bad.
you're good. You're good. But yeah, I start Guardiola. Tyler even I don't know if he mentioned it. I think he mentioned it before the podcast. I don't think he he's even going to be looked at as another option going forward
You're
after I
cutting
talked
in
about
and out. Get closer to the mic.
my bad, my bad. We talked about it a little bit when we were talking about the Akanji situation, where I was surprised that he got so far forward and involved in the offense. Tyler mentioned, that he even is going to be another option going forward with the ball too.
Yeah.
He said everybody but Diaz is probably going to have an option about getting forward at least a few times during the game.
God
That's just
damn.
kind of how the new system works with Guardiola. It's impressive, but and then on the bench, you have to have Antonio Rudiger. Obviously during the Champions League last season, came off the bench, locked up Sir Erling Haaland for 90 minutes, held it down. Then you saw what happened when he got replaced. Obviously, we have strong feelings on the podcast here that we think Rudiger is a solid center back for Madrid. There, I mean, not apparently, there are some times where he does have some inconsistencies where he'll have a good game and then he'll be one of the errors leading to a goal. But that's why he's on the bench for Madrid occasionally, is because he can be that guy to make the mistake. But again, you start Guardiola, you have Rudiger on the bench, and you sell Virgil Van Maguire right after that
That's
Damn.
game
crazy. You can't
where
say that like that. That's
when you
disgusting of you.
when Perisic is slicing man up, he hasn't been the same since the ACL come
Virgin
off.
Maguire. I
You
like it.
uh,
Damn. The
and
slander on Big Verge. The
I've been
slander.
saying
God, the
this. I've been saying
disrespect.
this for years though. Like I understand Liverpool had that great run. They got second place and then won the league, but there was
What?
just so much like they just kept overrating Van Dijk. And then these last like I said, he's proven to be more fraudulent now, and that's why I've been calling him Virgil Van Maguire, because the man
With
is
all
Well,
is
due
there's
respect.
fraudulent on
fraudulent, and
there.
then there's Maguire. Let's not put them in the same category. This
No,
man
that's with all due
this man at
respect,
one
though.
point in time, not right
Fernando's
now,
fraudulent,
was a
bro.
top center back in the Premier League. At one point in
That's why
time.
we say with all due respect.
I
I didn't
know, but
really
like,
mention
damn,
I
bro. Like, I
didn't really
can't,
mention
bro.
him
But he
very
called him
Oh, man.
Maguire, dude.
Can I get that out of the way?
Respectfully.
I never really rated him at left.
Respectfully.
You heard?
I feel it. I feel it. I mean, I like it. I mean, if we see a recurring trend here, I'll go ahead and say my piece. Yeah, Van Dyke. I'm sorry, man. He's definitely been at the top. I think we all know at one point he was the undisputed best center back in the world. He was untouchable. He was the best center back for Liverpool, and credit to him for raising the team's level that high, setting the standard that high. I mean, he had so many games where no one ever even dribbled past him. He was such a rock in the back. But in terms of just the drop off, and part of it's the injury, part of it's just Liverpool altogether dropping in form, doesn't really help him. And in terms of me, like my decision, I'm selling Van Dyke simply because the easy answer, Gvardiol is starting. He's currently the best defender in form. Um, and I don't see him starting over Gvardiol. And then my bench is Rudiger because, as Johnny mentioned, as Axel mentioned, this guy, when he's playing week in, week out, is literally top five center backs in the world. The problem with him is he's either injured, suspended, or Ancelotti gets too comfortable with their center back partnership. But if you remember, the most solid defense Madrid's ever had with these new center backs was a week in, week out, Alaba, Rudiger, Eder Militao on the right. Eder Militao has switched over to center back, and Alaba has dropped in form because the reason Alaba is untouchable in center back is because he was the best center back in our team, untouchable. That's the reason we won Champions League, was because of Alaba's center back and Courtois. But ever since he's dropped in form, Ancelotti's kind of like had that like connection with Alaba that he doesn't really want to drop him. and Eder Militao, he just shifted him over, and Rudiger's gotten the axe. But when we see us conceding so frequently in preseason and also just the end of last season, I'm like, why is Rudiger not playing? So when I just think when Rudiger is playing, we just look so much better. And I do want to keep Eder Militao in the squad. That's why I shipped him to the right. He can play there perfectly. I just think the player that needs to move is Alaba. And like Axel mentioned, I think he should play on the left. Mendy is awful. He's been terrible for us. And we tried to get this guy to recover. Personally, I don't think Ferran Garcia is ready yet. I think Alaba would do a great job there. And whether we get a new center back or find a different role or we do Eder Militao and Rudiger in center back and put Carvalho back on the right or whatever. I just think Rudiger is not benefiting from the system we're working with right now. But on his day, when he's playing consistent football, I think he's top 5 center backs in the world. I really, really rate him. But in current form, Gvardiol is the best center back out of these three, and he's starting every single day. And Van Biscuits just can't compete. But yeah,
I'd be curious too. Like, if I guess like a better question is, would you rate Van Dijk higher if Trent wasn't getting exposed as much as he is? Or do
Trent's
you
a
think
scapegoat of Liverpool, bro.
I'm not
been
saying it's a
saying-
scapegoat. I'm just saying half the goals Liverpool conceded are coming from the right, from Trent not being where he needs to be. And then
The
so
pro-
Van
the
Dijk
problem-
is having to cover more
Are you
space.
changing your answer?
I'm not. No. I'm asking you the question.
The problem with
if there's a
that
better
question,
right back.
the problem with that question for me, specifically, I don't know what the rest of the guys is. Even if you take Trent, add that to the equation, if say he was a solid right back and he didn't cause any issues, I still rate Rudiger higher than Van Dijk's recent form.
He gets injured. Van Dijk gets injured though too much,
So
bro.
for me, it doesn't change the positioning just because I personally rate Rudiger better than Van Dijk's best form of the last 2 seasons. But obviously Trent hasn't helped him out at all. So it does help Van Dijk, but it doesn't help him in terms of these other 2 players in my opinion. I think Van Dijk still gets sold over these 2 guys just because I think Rudiger offers you more, and Gvardiol he's just solid. He's too good.
Just a heads up, also, varring myself. Van Dijk had more minutes this year than Rudiger, which is crazy because it should be the other way
Said
around.
that he's on the bench. Yeah,
Everybody's got more minutes than Rudiger this year, man.
We don't know, bro. No one knows.
Transfer
Like,
market's got him at 2,000. He made 26 starts out of 38 games.
When Rudiger plays, Madrid looks so different. It's the thing about Rudiger is or Madrid in general, we rely on Courtois so much when Rudiger's not playing. When Rudiger plays, Courtois has so much easier of a time. Like, it's literally night and day difference. And I just don't understand. I mean, I don't think Ancelotti has anything against them. They obviously still get along well, but I just think it's the
Nah, just kidding.
Probably
Yeah.
terrible on the ball.
a center back.
that might be the
think-
case.
I
That
think
might
he's
be the
terrible on
case.
the ball.
Because Alaba's clear
What?
as day, really good on the ball. So that might actually be a reason why
I don't know
Ancelotti
if Rudiger
doesn't
could pass
start.
20 yards.
Rudiger
He's got
is
a good long shot, though.
Rudiger is a great center back in terms of defending, but Tyler's point, he definitely isn't as good as Alaba on the ball. He definitely isn't as good as Eder Militao on the ball. So that's probably the reason why. But I still think Alaba should get shifted, especially with the Mendy issue, and then we can actually save Camavinga's spot and stop playing him out on left and playing where he.
Oh, bro, if you make Camavinga a left back, bro, I'm so upset. That makes no sense.
Well,
different video, different day.
That's why I want
know.
Alaba to
I
get
saw-
shifted. If Alaba gets shifted, we don't have to worry about Camavinga playing left back anymore. But yeah, that's our start sub sell. Thank you guys for pitching in, and thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you guys on the next one.